Hola amigos, Dr. Labrunicky. Today I'm going to help you be successful on the essay portion of the AP Spanish Literature and Culture exam. So for today's lesson, we're going to take a look at two of the essays. So this will comprise lessons 5 and 6. Vamos a empezar. Okay, so what do we need to know about these essays? Well, there's going to be two of them, and all together, this is going to make up 35% of our overall exam score. And each of the essays should take us about 35 minutes. So all total, that's going to be about 70 minutes or a little bit over an hour. And what else should we know about these? We're going to look at that more in depth in this video. All right, so the first one is the text analysis, where we take a look at one text. And the next one is the text comparison, where they give us two texts. One of them is from the required reading list, and the other one is not from the required reading list, but there's going to be some connection that they're going to want us to make. And how long should these essays be? There's no set length. We need to complete the tasks that they set before us, but it may be about a page, give or take. All right, let's take a look at how we can do that. So the directions are in Spanish and in English from College Board in 2012 released exam. They say write a coherent and well-organized essay in Spanish on the topic that appears below. So that's the only part that will be in English. Then our task is going to be in Spanish, so we need to understand that. And let's take a look at a sample. And before we do that, how can we stay organized? We need to outline. So we're not just going to write a page-long essay and ramble on, but before we even start, we want to kind of put our thoughts together. How are we going to get it started? What are we going to talk about? What evidence are we going to find to support our essay? And how are we going to wrap it up in a conclusion? So our helpful hint for today is create an outline before you start your essay, because you've only got 35 minutes to put this together. Okay, so after we've come up with our outline, let's take a look at our instructions for the single text analysis. And here's an example. Analiza cómo Mire los muros de la patria mía representa las características del soneto y el contexto histórico de la España del siglo XVII. En tu ensayo debes comentar los recursos literarios del soneto. Debes incluir ejemplos del texto que apoyen tus ideas. All right, so let's break this down in English so that we know what we need to do. So analyze how our poem, I Saw the Walls of My Country, represents the characteristics of the sonnet and the historical context of Spain in the 17th century. In your essay, you should comment on the literary resources of a sonnet, and then also include examples from the text that support your idea. So they're going to give you the text, and on this one, they'll tell you the name of the author and the title, and then we need to break it down and show that we understand what it's talking about. So how are we going to analyze this? So anyways, we need to know the background information. Hopefully you've read this poem a few times, but the first thing we need to do is figure out what a sonnet is. And in my next video, in lesson number 7, I give you some literary terms, and a sonnet is definitely something you need to know about. So we'll take a look at it in English and then how we can put that together in Spanish in this video and also in the next one. So remember that a sonnet is 14 lines, and it's going to be broken down into 4 stanzas. The first 2 are going to be a quartet or quarteto, so it's going to be 4 lines, and then the last 2 are going to be tercetos or 3 lines. And also, it's going to have a rhyme scheme of A, B, B, A, and then C, D, E. But the last one, the C, D, E, that one can vary a little bit. But the first 4 should go A, B, B, A, and then A, B, B, A, and then C, D, E, C, D, E. Or it might vary a little bit, but you'll have to look and see what that is. And then how can we talk about a rhyme scheme in Spanish? And let's put this all together. So we might say el soneto tiene 14 líneas y tiene un esquema de rima de A, B, B, A, C, D, E, and tiene dos cuartetos y tiene dos tercetos. So that would be the perfect way how you could describe what a sonnet is. And then now it says that we need to include examples that support that. So maybe you can look at the end of the lines in the stanza and find examples where it rhymes, and then put those in quotation marks and say, here's my A, B, B, A rhyme scheme, and then give specific examples in quotation marks, showing that supporting what you're talking about. Okay, so that's step 1. We've described the sonnet. Now we need to talk about the historical context. So remember, this is Spain's golden era, or El Siglo de Oro, or Barroco. So the Barroco is part of the Golden Century. And so what do we know about this? Yeah, there's lots of gold coming in, but then there's also people are getting expelled. The Jews and the Muslims have gotten expelled, and a lot of the talent is leaving for the New World. And so there's good things going on in Spain, but there's also decline going on in Spain as well. And that's what this poem is about. And then the main theme for this poem could be the Carpe Diem, seize the day, or that Spain is in decline. So we're going to take a look for elements of that, of the crumbling walls or anything where Spain might be declining. And then we're going to find specific examples, and we're going to put that into our essay, and we're going to put that into quotation marks. Okay, so that's lesson 5. Let's take a look at lesson 6. Okay, then we've got a text comparison. So this is lesson 6, and in the text comparison, there's going to be one item that's from the required reading list and one item not from the required reading list. And again, we need to come up with a well-organized essay, so we should outline. And let's take a look at our instructions here. It says, analiza el efecto de los recursos literarios que los autores emplean en los dos poemas para desarrollar el tema del paso del tiempo. So this one, we need to analyze the literary resources that the authors employ in their poem for the development of the theme of the passage of time. Right, en tu ensayo compara la presentación de este tema en los dos poemas. Debes incluir ejemplos de los dos textos que apoyen tus ideas. So again, we're also going to need to find specific examples that refer back and cite and support what we're going to say. So from this example, they are giving us an example like mientras por competir con tu cabello, so while competing for your hair. And then they're going to give us another one as well. And in this example, again, it's going to be the sonnet, and so we can say that the two authors are using the sonnet as a literary resource, and maybe find a rhyme scheme, ABBA, and again support that. So it's kind of similar to what we're doing before. And then these poems might again have the concept of carpe diem, seize the day. And anyways, they might be talking about a beautiful woman or something that's beautiful. It starts out beautiful, but then over the passage of time, then it becomes less beautiful, and then eventually death comes. And so when we're comparing the essays, look for something that corresponds out of both of them, and then we want to cite our examples with quotation marks that support our ideas. And that's basically what you need to do for that. All right, this has been lessons 5 and 6, the essay, text analysis and text comparison. All right, up next we are going to take a look at vocab, and then also some exam tips, and then stay tuned for some bonus lessons. Adios. Gracias por mirar. Learning Spanish with Dr. L. Remember, clicking that subscribe button gives you free access to all my videos. Ciao, hasta pronto, adios, y buena suerte en el examen de AP.